Yo, what it do, wealth champions? Y'all know what it is, man. It is time for the Cortez Hustle Show, coming live and direct from the Monetize My Life studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, you know good and doggone well that you've all been given a gift, talent, special ability by your creator, and you might as well learn how to monetize it, man. Take that gift that God gave you and don't bury that talent. Go and present it to the marketplace so that it will make room for you at the time. I've got a free gift for you just for tuning in to the show this morning. All you got to do is go to monetizemylifenow.com and you cover shipping and the book is yours. We got a wonder-filled show lined up for you today. We're not going to do news every entrepreneur can use because I got a very special guest and I want to make sure that he has all the time to get what's on his mind off. He's going to teach you how to secure the bag during this coronavirus pandemic. That is none other than the founder of Billionaire Belief, Mr. Dhane Crowley. I'm going to talk to him about that. He's going to give you some tips on what it is that he's doing in his life to survive this coronavirus pandemic, but also thrive in it and during it. Do me a favor, as you guys are jumping onto the stream, go ahead and comment in the chat where you're from. Let us know the name of your business and or your brand for that free shout out if you are already an entrepreneur. If not, why not? Man, if coronavirus has taught us anything, it has taught us that there is a lot of opportunity out there for us to take advantage of. And it's not hard to become an entrepreneur in 2020 with the internet, with social media, with all the opportunity that is brimming in this economy. Man, you probably want to take a serious look at entrepreneurship. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you my announcements, then we'll roll our disclaimer, and then we'll get right into the show. For those of you who are looking for a way to really get on the path to building generational wealth, the Wealth Warriors United group is having a private webinar tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and you'll learn all about how to build generational wealth on that private webinar. So if you are interested in that webinar and you want the link, all you got to do is comment webinar, and I'll make sure I get you that link when the show is over this morning. We've got Billionaire in the building from New Jersey. Welcome to the stream this morning. Excuse me. Also, again, make sure you go to monetizemylifenow.com to get your free copy of the book. You cover shipping, and I'll get that out to you directly. So let me go ahead and cue up our disclaimer for this morning, and let's get right into today's show. The Cortez Hustle Show is a copyrighted production of iHustle Media Group. Any unauthorized use of the video, audio, captions, depictions of this show without express written consent of iHustle Media Group is strictly prohibited. iHustle Media Group, a better way to market.
And now back to the Cortez Hustle Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. We are live and direct from the Monetize My Life studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Listen, this guest that I'm going to introduce you guys to today is really like my brother from another mother. We met on social media. I was watching him doing his thing. He was following me doing my thing. And we decided what better thing to do than have two powerful brothers come together and continue to help educate, inspire, motivate, encourage, and help people understand the power of financial literacy and the necessity thereof and how to execute on the game plan. My guest is Dhane Crowley. Was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. He graduated from King Drew Medical Magnet High School, later received his BS in Business Administration from UC Riverside. Dhane began his career in education and then changed to finance. After a few years in corporate America, Dhane decided to pursue his own endeavors in media and began by starting Billionaire Belief. Since then, Dhane has worked in various niches of media from film, radio, and music. Nowadays, you can find Dhane becoming a better investor, helping people become better investors through the Billionaire Belief platform, and enjoying his Trek road bike in the sunny streets of Los Angeles, California. So without further ado, let me present to some and introduce to others, Mr. Dhane Crowley, my brother. How's it going this morning? Uh-oh, I'm having trouble hearing you this morning, just a little bit.
Morning, I'm doing well.
There we go. There we go.
I'm live. My mic's hot. Says my.
All right, it's breaking up on me just a little bit, Dhane.
Man.
I think we got a little bit of feedback. A little bit of delay. Dhane is all out in California, so maybe there's a long distance connection issue going on. So try it again for me, Dhane. All right. Go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about who Dhane Diesil is, which is his Facebook name.
Good on mine.
Okay. Let me see.
Dhane Diesil. That guy. I mean, he's a regular guy like Eric. Only difference between me was that percent, which I just designing for something there is me from every other man or every other woman out there. Is at times my greater is just greater than theirs at certain moments in their life, and I know that there's people's yearning greater than my level of greatness. So I since a kid, I was the kid who I vividly remember, for example, being ninth grade and being a superstar student. I went primarily to 12th grade was the first time I went to public school. So going from that to making that transition, being a smart kid or the good student in those private schools, now I'm in public school. It's I remember never forgetting it was ninth grade algebra 1, and I just wasn't getting it. Other kids seemed to get it, but I wasn't. I just locked in and would figure this out, be a master at it, and I committed to it. And a couple of weeks later, now I'm the type who wants to come to me for help. But like you said, I attribute that only to just making the decision, want to be better, want to be the best. Commit who I am, what I'm saying? I'm just a guy who, just like everybody else, I want stuff like everybody else wants stuff. Things, I want to go to nice places, and I understand that it's gonna take a Wallace D. Watto move a certain way, and just those things without burden to myself and others.
Got you. Yeah, I'm still having you're breaking up a little bit with your audio, man, and I don't want people to miss this.
Good, brother.
Yeah, you're breaking up with your audio, and I don't want people to miss this, but I understand that you made the transition from private school to public school and were not getting it from some of the things that you were actually doing, but it was a commitment that you locked in on, and that made all the difference. Talk about a little bit the difference that commitment to one's finance could make, because I think that's, we've all come up in situations for the most part where it was taboo to even talk about money. But if you make a commitment to your financial journey, I think that alone can transform a lot of people's financial situations. Talk a little bit about the commitment required to really transform one's finances.
Me, it's that Cortez literally was hiring as empirical data in regards to the steps in a sense, as well as share with others, and then they come and feed back on. But for myself, like I said, going back to the number one, like it's like that glue and under pathology of my decision.
All right, hold on, Dame. Let me do this. Let me have you
able to realize when I look, quote unquote, or
let me have you leave the broadcast room
that.
and come back in, Dame, and see if
It's
that's
like,
going to work for you.
I'm pretty sure the show was like, okay, I want to do it ready. You get an idea, right? Yeah, like, you know, I'm gonna do this, and you make a commitment with me. Actually, just know I'm gonna let this show go, and then I apply to our finances. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to make a commitment to want to be better investors and money managers. Until that is made, until that commitment is made, then I mean, in essence, we're just spinning our wheels, because yeah, you might receive some level of success, but if you aren't mentally locked in and fully locked in, then you're gonna squander all those gains because you're not committed to achieving your version of independence over the long term. Because like you said, we're talking marathons. We're not talking, 100-meter dashes. We're talking marathons. So you got to be able to sustain this skill, you know what I'm saying, this commitment, this decision, this discipline, this consistency over a long period of time. And it took me a while to kind of get that understanding. But I read The Way of the Superior Man. Like the beginning of that book, he talks about like there is no completion. Like nothing's ever going to complete. And I know in my mind, get this done, and everything else to be okay. But it's just like, nah. So the more there is no completion, and it's like you finish once to want to be greater and want to do better, then you will start seeing the results. But it begins, like I said, you got to make the commitment. Yeah, that's all it takes. It's just a decision. Like, do you want to do this? Yes or no? If it's yes, then instead of you go not, then continue to go enjoy yourself.
Right. Do me a favor, Dane. Leave the studio and let's have you come back in and see if that's going to help. You're dropping too many nuggets, brother, for my audience not to get this. I really want to get your audio right. So if you leave the studio and pop back in, let's see if that clears some things out, and let's bring you back on that way.
I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. Listen, man.
Yeah. So I'll exit right now, and I'll come on back.
Yep, do that for me. Yeah. I don't want to miss Dane. Dane is a brilliant mind that I really want you guys to hear from. Having some technical difficulties with his audio. It's funny, when you got about to go ham, you can expect something to go wrong. And we actually were just talking nice and clear. Everything was fine right before we came on, because we always do an audio check and we test everything to make sure everything is going to be fine. And we did that. And the minute we go live, then this. But nevertheless, we will not be defeated, ladies and gentlemen. So IG, I'm going to sign off from you guys. So make sure that you hop over to the YouTube channel or to the Facebook page to catch the rest of the show. And we're going to bring Dane back here in a second. All right. So yeah, man, talking about commitment, man, most people just don't understand the power of commitment and how to commit to their finances in a way that is going to have a lasting impact. Dane talked about a marathon and not a sprint, man. This life, wow, we hear all the time, life is short. And you can look at it from that perspective, but life is also surprisingly long. and if you only look at it as life is short, then I'm telling you, you'll miss out on some things. So let's see if we can bring our brother Dane back. and see if the audio is a little bit better. So we were left off, Dhane, you were talking about commitment, my friend, and what it takes. So kind of rewind that just a little bit, and I think we can hear you a lot better now.
Perfect. And I had to put the earphones on as well. But just real long story short, commitment all boils down to you making the decision to want to do better. And it's just like that. And like I shared before, the simple example, what made me realize that I've made such commitments before in the past was 9th grade Algebra 1 class, where I made the transition from public to private school, which means smaller environment to a bigger environment, pool of students. And now I'm not the only smart kid or, kid who gets it, a student. I'm around, everybody. I'm around more than students that are better than me. So trying to keep up with them, that's what made me hard. Because like I said, that's just been that's who I am. I've always yearned for something greater. And with school, for example, I wanted to be an A student. It wasn't that's just what it was. So making those commitments to want to be better and want to do better, that's all it takes. And from there, you put the work in. But if you don't make the decision or even acknowledge that you have to make the decision, then, you won't be great. And you'll never really achieve the level of success that you want for yourself because you just haven't mentally locked in yet. And until you mentally lock in, then, your results will be marginal at best. You'll get some wins, but you'll never really, like I said, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you got to be mindful of that. So just commit. One decision.
That's it. The power of decision, man. I heard it said that wealthy people make decisions quickly and they're slow to change their mind. Poor and middle class people take forever to make a decision and they're quick to change their mind. So you founded a platform to help people with their mindset called Billionaire Belief. Where did that come from, and how's it going in terms of the people that you're serving? Are they starting to get it about the mindset necessary to develop in order to have success in their finances?
The genesis of Billionaire Belief begins, once again, through my own personal journey to wealth. And it was about 2010. And that's kind of like when I literally made my commitment to this. It was like between December 2010 and my birthday, which was February 20th of 2011. Like between that moment, it was when I kind of was gearing my mind set up to get mentally locked in and commit to this new way of life. And at that point, I'm going to different events, I'm reading books, because at that time, that was, like I said, 2010. So social media wasn't as advanced, as it was now. But it was still somewhat kind of still in its infancies. It was a little toddler at that point. So there wasn't as much stuff out there as it is now. But from what I can, Google was still Google. So I just began researching some things, positive quotes and, reading books. Obviously, the classics. Think That, Think and Grow Rich and Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon, like those OG classics, how to, win friends and influence people. All those OG classics, I was reading those. And like I said, whatever videos I could find on YouTube, I was watching those. Podcasting wasn't really what it was now, but, whatever I could find out. And like I said, I just started just consuming information and just getting locked in and immersing myself in the game. And from there, I start trying to, not trying, but I started applying some of the things I was learning and I was getting results. And so I'm like, somebody else probably needs these answers because that's why I went to college. I always wanted to be a business owner or entrepreneur, but in my mind at that time, I was under the impression that I needed to go to college to get the knowledge required to be a successful business owner. But once I got there, and it was more theory than practical application. And I tell people all the time, like, I have a BS in business administration from UC Riverside, but out of 5 years of college, I'd say maybe accounting and maybe one strategic management course was really the classes that I could say, like, I learned business or I got some real good entrepreneur game. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, 5 years, at least 3 classes a quarter, ladies and gentlemen, and only 2 classes I feel I'm using today.
Right.
And I graduated in 2007. So 10 plus years later, 2 classes out of 5 years worth of classes. So
wow.
that's why it's like, and not to kind of go off topic real quick, but that's why I tell you, like, you got to really take time. I believe we have to reevaluate this word we call education, because a lot of times when I'm talking to people, they're just like, oh, you got to go get your education. But the assumption seems, in my mind, seems to be that people assume that, okay, well, if you go to a college, then you're going to get education. If you go to school, you're going to get education. And it's like, that's not how it works. Like, you can self-educate, which to me is the best form of education, simply by just doing literally the things I'm telling you, because it's specialized knowledge. As we learn from the OG classics, you got to get that specialized knowledge. It ain't general practical knowledge. And real quick, shouts out to Ty Billionaire. He's a brother out here, making waves in the street. But recently, he kind of got me back into my where I need to be mentally in regards to my finances. But I saw something he posted today, and he was like basically saying, like, we gotta what if we taught kids how to trade stocks and how to invest in stocks, when they're in high school and middle school, instead of this advanced math stuff that they're never going to use. Like, they're never going to use it, but we insist on teaching them these same stuff, same stuff. And what I tell people too is that we got to understand, like, our education, the genesis of our education came from the birth of the industrial age. So
that's right.
The educational curriculum that we have today is built to support that system, that the industrial system, not the new game or new paradigm we're in, which is the information age.
That's right.
So, like, our education our curriculum hasn't changed from so we're literally teaching an obsolete curriculum, literally.
Yeah, and I think it serves
think about
the powers that be, and I talk about it. My problem with university and the whole college thing, you're right. It's not the pursuit of knowledge that's the problem. When we think education, I define education as the means by which we transfer knowledge. But you have to go back to, like you said, the origin. What is the purpose of the knowledge being transferred today? And what is the motive and who's doing the transferring, right? So a lot of that information is outdated, and university is, I think, because it is a business and a lot of people don't look at it as a business, it is marketed as if it is the only way to succeed, to success. And it's also pushed to our children as if it's also a guaranteed way to succeed. So that's my main problem with college is when you talk to your counselor, it's like, if you don't go to college, you're going to be living in a gutter. Or if without college, then there's no other way that you will ever succeed in life. And that's the part that I don't like. Now, this is not me bashing college. I got 4 sons that have gone to university, one currently in university, but I talk to them a lot about the other things that's not talked about that you learn and gain from college, your relationships, the ability to network with people literally from all over the world. Take advantage of those things. The library, right? I know you got to go do some things studying according to your class, but there are a lot of books that has nothing to do with your curriculum that can transform your life. So take advantage of those resources and things. That's what we're really paying for. So you have a daily routine, brother.
Not to cut your wisdom off.
Go ahead.
Because I realized I didn't answer your question.
Yeah.
Like I said, we kind of got, but to make a long story short, to answer your question of like, where did Billionaire Belief come from? So basically, I went to college thinking that I was going to get some answers about making money that I thought, like Cortez was saying, that I thought I can only get in college. When I got to college, I realized that they had no answers for me. And so that's when my personal hunt for answers began. And then, fast forward, like I said, I got there 2002, fast forward to 2007, I graduated in 2007. From 2007 to 2010, it was just kind of like a state of depression for me, because I'm just like, damn, like this ain't working out how they said it was supposed to work out. Like, all my, like you said, them counselors and them parents, like everyone like telling me like, oh, if you won't go to college, I did everything y'all said I had to do, but that good job wasn't waiting for me when I got out. And like you said, I did good in regards to, like, I graduated with I think a 3.03 GPA, which relatively speaking is good for college, only because most people don't take it serious. Most people just average C's. So, you know, I did strive, you know, learning for something greater. And so by the time 2010 came, like you said, I kind of was like, you know what, like, because what happened was I was working, like you said, in corporate. But then I remember I went to lunch one day and I saw this old guy there. And for some reason in my mind, I said, that's going to be me if I keep doing things the way I'm doing them. And no shades, my man, but I just knew he was just a corporate warrior. And I was just like, you know, but I could just, I don't know. It was just something about how he carried was just the stress and the burden and just this lifestyle was just weighing heavy on him. I was like, no, I don't want that. And literally, and that's when I started working in corporate America and I started doing my own thing because I'm just like, well, because in my mind, I'm just like, I'm gonna sink or swim anyway. So I might as well sink or swim on my own merit. And then from there, it was like, all right, well, I got to figure out something I need to do. I need to figure out a way to share these answers and I'm gonna be getting it. And that's when, you know, Billionaire, because I was just like, well, going back to school, you know, I was like, well, when I was in school, whenever I wanted to do better in class, I had to study with the A students. So in life, I feel like our quote unquote report card is that income statement, is that balance sheet. So same concept. You know, if I want to do better in money, then I got to study with the A students. As far as I was concerned at that point, the A students were the billionaires, hence Billionaire Belief. Like I got to Billionaire Belief so that I can understand, you know, how they get down. And if I could just take 1% of what they do, if I could just take 1% of what billionaires do, I'm pretty sure I could take me 10 times farther than, you know, 100% of what I know.
Right.
So
absolutely. Yeah. And I love that you have that platform because you are, like you're saying, a lot of people just don't understand the mindset that's required. They've got the drive, they've got the discipline, but they don't understand. They're trying to do the actions without the mindset. And when you get the mindset first, then the actions become second nature. Guys, when we come back on the other side of this break, I'm going to have Dhane break down his daily routine because your success doesn't happen overnight, right? But it is built daily. So the little things that you do every day are what you're going to look to 5, 10, 15 years from now. And that's how your success is going to be built. So we're going to talk about his daily routine on the other side of this break. You guys keep it locked right here.
Hey, Treasure Coast, I'm Live Russ.
And I'm Teresa Russ.
With Focus Network Media. Wait.
Before you click out, we help business owners and online entrepreneurs get their own results on social media without having to be tech savvy or hire an agency by giving them step-by-step guidance with our program, My Marketing Mastery.
That's right. With everything that's going on right now, we're going to show you how to put ads just like this one in front of your clients. So click that link below. Sign up for the webinar. It's only $1 to join.
It's only $1.
Invest in yourself. Let's go. Peace.
Why should you take Focus Network Media's webinar on marketing mastery? Hi, I'm Wendy Conrad with Your Happy Workplace. And if you're a small business owner like me who wants to learn how to build your first Facebook ad or maybe just get better at building Facebook ads, you need to take Teresa and Russ's webinar. They give you a step-by-step startup guide on how to build your Facebook ads and also how to build them better. A lot of clarity in this webinar. Run, don't walk to register.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am your host, Cortez Hustle. We are sitting live and direct with our guest, Mr. Dhane Crowley, and we're talking about Billionaire Belief, right? We're talking about getting your mindset right, which is a requirement for you to do the things that you need to do consistently, which is the key to have the success that you want to have. Shout out to our sponsors, myperfectmoneyplan.com. Listen, if you want to build the type of life you need to understand, there's a few things that's holding you back financially: taxes, debt, credit, and your habits, right? My Perfect Money Plan will help you get those things in order. Go to myperfectmoneyplan.com to see what our membership can do for you. Dhane, before we went to break, we were talking about little things that you do habitually will ultimately down the road create a big difference. And that is what you're actually building your life from. Talk a little bit about a day in the life of Dhane Crowley. What is your daily routine like?
There's this it's a little 30-minute clip I listen to on YouTube at least once a week. But it's called Magnificent. Takeaways I always get from that is he says, are basically, the foundation of those results are daily habits. And so on that note, for me, my days literally, people were like, "What do you wake up so early for?" Because the early bird catches the worm. That's why I wake up so early. Literally, because I literally going back to commitment. I remember anyway, because whether we had to get to the bus or our parents had to take us to school before they went to work early, so I kind of just kept the same ever since high school. Anyway, so I'm gonna just keep waking up, right? So I wake up at 5. I'll do like some quick, and then I'll go ahead or I'll drink a smoothie, fruit, just to get some my body, and then I'll go ahead, hop into. That's when the market is open. Through Friday, wake up in the morning, shower, get dressed, yada. Then I'll go ahead. I'll do my pre-market we got on the line this morning. But I'll do the pre-market analysis, and from there I'll do my day trades. Because right now I'm working on developing not my swing trading skill, day trading skills. So get up in the morning to make sure I'm up and when it opens to do my paper trade, and then like you said, so I'll do that pretty much. At 5 now we're pretty much opens, and I'm doing that ends the literally instant upper. Go hit the field, go collect a couple of dollars, and then get back home. And the market, I like do a market recap. What's going on? Obviously, kind of counts just to see. Just a lot of times there's to be, like you said, be in mind. Just know my. And like I go check all accounts, go check all that stuff. And
all right, you're breaking up on me again, Dhane, real bad. I'm not sure what changed.
Like I go, I like,
yeah, you might have to go out and come back in, man. Again, your success is in your daily routine, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, if you can pop out and pop back in, you broke up really bad. But I want people to understand the power in their daily choices and their daily habits, because that's where your success is. So last time you popped out and popped back in, it actually worked really good for us.
Connection.
All right, so let's see.
I chalk this up to this.
Yep. No, now I lost you all together.
Coast and Midwest connection.
Yeah, I lost you all together now. Give me a mic check now and see if that's better.
Mic check.
All right. Seems like you're back up and running now. So you were midway through that daily routine. I know you said you get up and you kind of do a pre-market analysis, and you're looking at everything that you got going on. You're checking your accounts, all of that kind of stuff. So, and how do you know when there's a time to make an adjustment or a change in that routine?
Make the proper adjustments, and by new opportunity, I mean like a new project for the most part. So right now, like I said, that's another big aha moment. We can't put too much on our. At the end of the day, I know ideas, and we got something for us. At the end of the day, and you got to know what's possible and just focus for you, and that helps. So I haven't had a need to change it. Well, I actually have changed it recently, and as recently as July. Before July, I was practicing my day trading. I have actually what I did of it, so it changes on like what like going back to that scene. That's pretty much the in fact, wake up in the morning and early stretching and some push-ups and some squats, like some nutrients, some water, and then I'm gonna get the day started regardless of what that is. Now, like you said today, there is a little adjustment only because me and the fellas, we're gonna go out, as you can see on the bike right there. We're gonna go out and hit the field and get some bike riding in this morning. But usually today, like you said, today will be in a not recently. I kind of use Mondays as a quote, personal business done, because this ain't open that you need to be open on. So you can only do it today. I got to go to the DMV, little stuff like that. So,
gotcha.
But we up, and it's like I tell people that like you got to get up in the morning, like
yeah,
you got to be up. Like I don't
like
get it. Like how you try.
Yeah. It's
blows
like
my
the
mind,
army,
Cortez.
man.
Like, what are you doing?
It's like
no.
It's like that Facebook meme, right?
I'm glad you specifically use that. Because literally,
there's a Facebook meme that says if you woke up broke, you had no business going to sleep in the first place, right? So outside of the daily routine, I see that taking care of your body is
real quick.
Go ahead,
Cortez. All things considered, I was going to actually talk about the body. So,
yeah. You are serious about your physical conditioning, what you put into your body, nutrition, and that kind of stuff. How does that attribute to your success? Is that a huge part of who Dhane is and making you the success that you are? I think a lot of people miss some of the non-sexy things that successful people are doing, right? So talk about the role that your fitness routine, in terms of, you say you get up in the morning, you're doing push-ups and squats and getting your blood pumping, and you're making sure you put the right things in your body. How much do you attribute your success to some of those things?
I'll definitely consider it to be and if I'm tired, slothful, chill. You know what I'm saying? We give ourselves an excuse like, and then you've been working hard, or you've been doing this. But I used to think like that, and I used to feel that way. And I used to, like I said from the beginning, for something greater. So I'm always trying to improve it. And in our body are essential to us being able to get on in this life. So if our minds were clear and energized, then we're gonna have that in today. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock and whatnot. Need to complete it at the end. And I'm always getting, by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
You know, I have access to the same information as most people, though, and I read it, and I have plenty of plenty of my partners. I got a couple of details about something. I'll go ahead and ask them. So I just do the best I can, and I'm no winning Mr. Olympia challenge, all cut and chiseled and body move at the end of the day, like
right.
Rest his soul.
Gotcha. Well, do me a favor, man.
You set a piece of metal out in the sun, it's gonna rust.
Yeah. Tell everybody where they can connect with you. I know you've got an ebook that you're putting together to help people understand how to secure the bag with some of the wealth building strategies that you use and apply yourself. But tell everybody how they can connect with you and how they can get that ebook.
All right. So my front door is at Instagram.com/Billionaire Belief _. Okay. That's my welcome mat. That's my front door. That's where you can find me. Let's go to that profile. Click the link. You'll get access. I said from the beginning, I'm all about the platforms out there that I'm all that. I come to the realization that building wealth, financial independence, whatever label you want to use, a lot of it is like geared towards people already knowing that they need to. It's like it's written in a way where they assume that people know what they're talking about. In a sense. They assume people already have this assumption that you've already graduated from check to pay that to pay tally, but have the drive, they have the ambition. So because they don't have the mindset and the habit, a path to those first couple of steps to at least aware of what they are. Drive, I had the ambition, and I was willing to do, but any like spending my wheels as far as my money, but it's like, okay, just say I understand faster. I want want to grow it a little. So let me go treat myself to this little situation, this little event, or 5,000 turns into 500. Now I'm back to square one, and but that happened. I didn't know. So that's why those first steps are important. Know what those first. You start going through those first steps, and then like results are just going to be marginal best, because like you said, you don't have to know, like, okay, like I've saved $5,000, step I need to find Z. Once again, going back to depletion. So with those steps and doing them, and it's just like you to know what those first steps are, so you can A, go through those, know what they are, and then B, accomplish those, like
execute.
Before we can go to our upper division, we got to complete our pursuit.
Awesome.
And it's like I believe it's the same concept before we happen to those upper division team. So I'm saying, like, what you want to do, but you got to take those first steps, and that's making sure you are aware of those first steps, and then show within those first.
Awesome. Well, Dame, I so appreciate you taking your time to come hang out with the audience. I put the link to his IG in the comments. All you got to do is go there. Make sure you follow his page. Click the link in the bio to get the ebook. And we had some technical challenges, but we overcame them, and I appreciate that. So we'll definitely do this again when we can really get you clear all the way through. On the other side of this break, guys, we're going to talk about the 3 things that you can start doing today to change your mindset and start adopting a more wealthy mindset, which leads to the habits that you need to take to actually have success financially. So keep it locked right here.
Hey, good morning, wealth champions. Hey, listen, if you want to be financially successful, then you have to do what financially successful people do. And I know there's a few things that all wealthy people have in common. Number 1, they understand that building wealth is a team sport. Number 2, they understand the power of capitalism and business enterprise. Number 3, they love to use systems and leverage. And number 4, they all have mentors. My name is H. Cortez, also known as Financial Health Mentor. And for the last 5 years, I've been helping hardworking Americans get all of these things in place with one single membership. If you want to learn more about that, go to myperfectmoneyplan.com. Again, that's myperfectmoneyplan.com. And you're going to get a team of professionals, so you're not building wealth by yourself. You're going to get a system that's going to help you transform your finances. And last but not least, you're going to get some great mentorship to help you execute your game plan. So again, go to myperfectmoneyplan.com, and I'll see you on the other side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. That was our guest, Dhane Crowley. Brilliant guy, man. I really hate that we had some of the technical challenges. It was hard to hear him in spots, but we're actually going to get together and do something on a recorded platform so you guys can hear more from him and get that thing so you can understand why I'm so high on Mr. Crowley. So 3 things that you could do starting today that can transform your mindset. Guys, you are who you are because of 3 things primarily. Number 1, the content you consume. So I give you guys a huge pat on the back for just coming to hang out on a show like this. But the things you consume via audio, via video, the books you read, the shows you watch on TV, guys, all of that stuff is conditioning your mindset right now. And you have to ask yourself, if you are not on the path, if you do not like where you are now financially, you attribute that to all of the things that you have consumed up until this point. So you might have to change some of those things. Dhane talked about some of the OG classic books, Think and Grow Rich, The Millionaire Next Door, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Are you consuming things that will lead you to developing a wealthy mindset so you can start changing your habits? That's number one. Number two thing that you can start doing today is looking around your circle. If you look at the friends that you hang out with the most, if they do not inspire you, then it's time for you to change your circle. Guys, there's nothing wrong with redrawing your circle. So start there. And it's hard to do, guys. I know one of the things that really keeps us locked into circles that aren't progressing, circles that aren't challenging us, is the fact that we have this guilt complex, right? If you have a homeboy or a homegirl that saw you through a troubled relationship, you feel like you owe them. So when you start pursuing wealth, you start pursuing other ambitions and they are not coming with you, you feel guilty about leaving them behind. Guys, you cannot afford that. Steve Harvey says I saw, how he does his talks behind his shows. He said his father told him one time that everybody that came with you can't go with you, right? Everybody that came with you can't go with you. And you should not feel guilty about that. Guys, just like there is a negative peer pressure, we tell our kids to stay away from certain people because that person is going down a bad path and you don't want your kids going down that direction. Then there's also a positive peer pressure because the circle that I'm in, they're not going to leave me the way they found me. And they're going to push me to do bigger, better, bolder things. They're going to push me to be greater, right? Do you have that type of circle? Or do you have the circle where every time you try to step out and do something greater, they're pulling you back in, right? Ask yourself that. If you look at your circle and nobody's inspiring you, then you might need to change that circle. So the content you consume, the people you associate with, and then the third is the places you go. I did a panel discussion with very influential guy, very brilliant guy named Dr. Elance McCarthy. And he broke it down like this. He said, every week, people are, and the poor and middle class in society spend money at the same places, the same clubs, listening to the same music, doing the same thing every single week, but yet they want things to change in their lives, right? Now he says, while you are spending money at the club, you're buying your own drinks, you're buying your own food, you're fraternizing with the same people with the same mindset that has led you to where you are today, right? That's what people are doing every single week. And he says, on the other side of town, though, there is a nonprofit event, some sort of gala. Most of the time it's free. The food is free. The drinks are free. You get to fraternize with people who are in the upper echelons of society, wealthy folks. But you continue to go to the same old places, doing the same old things, getting the same old results, but you say you want something different. But you know why we won't go across town? It's because usually across town, people think different than us, and they're going to challenge us to think differently. And we've been trained and conditioned to only remain in the places where we are comfortable, where people think like us. Guys, while there is a tremendous amount of safety, there's a tremendous amount of security, and all of those things exist in the comfort zone, nothing ever grows there, guys. So at the end of the day, you can continue to go to the same old places, or you can go on the other side of town and see who you can meet. You can go and get around circles where people have different opinions than you do and see how you can connect. These are 3 things that you could do today, starting today, that don't cost you anything, that can start slowly chipping away at the belief system that you currently have. Slowly start chipping away at who you used to be and start building and chiseling out from who you used to be, the person that you want to become. Another good thing that you can do starting today is start reading biographies and autobiographies of successful people. Because here's what tends to happen. We look at somebody like Oprah Winfrey today, and we say, hey, I'm going to be like Oprah. We look at somebody like LeBron James. I love Kevin Hart, the comedian, but I'm watching Kevin Hart, the businessman, more than the comedian. I love Jay-Z, one of the greatest hip hop rappers of all times. But Sean Carter, the businessman, has got me a lot more intrigued than Sean Carter, the lyricist, right? We're watching those people and we are trying to imitate what they are doing today. But if you go read an autobiography or biography of these people, you will see what they were doing 25 years ago. If you're just starting out, it makes you know, never mind to do what Jay-Z is doing today, try to do what Kevin Hart is doing today. We need to figure out the mindset that they had and the activities they were doing 25 years ago. That's where we need to be. But instead, Jay-Z has a nice chain. We want to go get us a nice chain. No, we need to go and adopt the mindset that Jay-Z had 25 years ago that led to the habits that ultimately created the billion-dollar empire that he has today. We want to know what was the mindset that Oprah Winfrey had 25, 30 years ago that led to the daily habits that she did day after day after day that ultimately built the $3 billion empire that she has today. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 things. Look at the people you hang around, look at the content you're consuming, and the places that you go. You start changing those things, then your world literally begins to change. So appreciate my guest, Dhane Crowley, for coming to hang out with your boy on the Cortez Hustle Show. Shout out to my sponsors, Monetize My Life. Guys, get your free copy of this book and you'll learn the 4 incredibly simple ways to turn your passions into profits with little to no startup cost. Go to monetizemylifenow.com. If you are not satisfied with where you are financially and you need a game plan, you need a system, you want some experts to help you with your credit, some experts to help you get your taxes down, some experts to help you get out of debt, some extra experts to help you accumulate assets, then you definitely want to go to myperfectmoneyplan.com. It's a 5-minute video there that shows you how we help you with this monthly subscription transform your finances forever. So with that, till I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it. Each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.